Okay.
We're starting our adventure. We're at Newnan Views, which is our new home where we moved in August, and we did receive some damage. You can see these are the 3-story, well, they're actually 4-story with rooftop. So some of the windows have blown out. There's some roof damage. Overall, we were totally blessed to get through such a major storm with minimal damage. The house straight ahead was destroyed. It's going to have to be rebuilt. A lot of the homes are turn of the century and, you know, just major damage. If you look ahead, you can see Buchanan Street. Cars were hit. We are going to turn on LaGrange Street. So LaGrange Street is, if we get turned, lots of traffic. I'm just glad to see roads open. But
it's true, because we're about 1 week past the F4 tornado at this point.
Yeah, and we have got a lot of damage on the street. When it first happened, there were so many trees down that you could not even really pass the street. So we're glad to see movement. The city has taken it upon themselves to go ahead, start the cleanup. So the cleanup has begun. As you can see, the sidewalks where we all love to walk and visit and talk to people, they're getting clear, but you know, from the look, you can see the big trees that are on the right-hand side that are, you know, just totally gone, and they're cutting them up and cleaning up. But that, you know, the trees were some of the most beautiful things about our community, but it's also part of such devastation.
Well, and I think what's so dramatic is you come through downtown and you're like, oh, you don't realize how much damage, and then you come down the hill by the First United Methodist Church and you start to go up LaGrange, and all the trees are just gone. I mean, it looks... Yeah.
But, you know, just based off of all the devastation, and it's clearing up again, we're going to go to Woodbine, which is one of the nicest, you know, just a beautiful neighborhood here. And as you can see, if we can get down here, but you can see a lot of my friends that live here, the insurance will only cover, like, if it's across the driveway or if it's on the house. And that's devastating. You know, if you've got 100 trees in your backyard and they're all gone, it's like, what are you going to do to be able to clean this up? It's going to take years to be able to. But this neighborhood was developed back in the day. It was, I guess, when Pat Clinic in the early days of Newnan Hospital, and a lot of the physicians, when they moved here, they liked this neighborhood. It was city.
Look at that.
City property, close to the hospital. That was when we had Newnan Hospital only, but now we have wonderful Piedmont Hospital. But anyway, you can see the destruction. I mean, this is after, I think we're right at 10 days today.
Yeah, it was, well, it happened, Thursday night, Friday morning, because it came through at midnight. It was just so crazy.
Yeah, it woke us up about midnight, and from the time I woke up and ran into the hallway, there was glass flying everywhere, and then that's when I realized I just needed to stay put. So, not many people can say they survived a storm of that caliber, and we're all very blessed to say that we could. But
the trees that are over, well, as you're facing us, but if you click it to the left, I mean, you just really see how many trees have come down. Hey, let's talk about so each of the homes, when you're in this section, most of them have a sticker. It's red, yellow, or green.
Right. So if it's red, chances are really good that they may have to rebuild.
And they can't, it's risky to hook up electricity to that house.
On, and you can't live there. So we've got quite a few red stickers on the houses. The house, this is also a neighborhood where Alan Jackson's sister lives, but just, you know, look at the debris and the destruction. I mean, it's just unbelievable. But just the fact that, you know, there were no fatalities except for that one sad incident where the gentleman was trying to get to his daughter and had a heart attack, and she was actually supposed to be getting married the next day. So that was such a sad story.
But it is truly a miracle. I mean, it's an absolute miracle that there were not, when you look at some, especially maybe when we come back out, if we can go down LaGrange past that apartment building, when you think, I mean, the top was just sliced off that building.
Right. And there's been so many people giving. I mean, not all of us can get out and drag limbs or whatever the case may be, but there's going to be years of devastation here. So I know our company has set up a GoFundMe account, so we're appreciative for that. Ooh, this tree looks... Okay,
yeah, we might gotta go quick. Let's go quick. What I think is so heartwarming though is to see the students from Newnan High School, because those kids, we already know they'll be virtual till the end of this school year.
Yeah.
And we don't know what next school year is going to look like, but just seeing them out in the community working and supporting and helping is just really...
I think it's just...
it's healing for everybody.
It's healing, and I think the kids, this will be something that, you know, they'll never forget.
Oh,
you know,
yeah.
It's just something that's always going to be in their minds, especially, you know, a lot of the kids that survived it. But the truck ahead is one of those that was hired by the city, and they're actually out of Iowa. So
oh, really?
They are here, and you can see, I mean, their trucks are tremendous. So the city is just, you know, pushing to get it as cleaned up as fast as we possibly can.
So if a house has a yellow sticker, because we passed a couple yellow stickers, that means that it might be safe to turn the electricity, or they can turn it on.
Yeah, with caution, for sure.
With caution.
There just, no one knows, you know, from the surface. A lot of times, you know, you'll look at it and say, well, it's not as bad as I thought it was, but once you get there and you start living in the house, you may have some electrical issues or plumbing issues. So there's just so much of that that's just uncertain.
Okay. Oh, so one of the, we're coming out on Nimmons, which we aren't going past Atkinson Elementary, but it was also damaged. And those kids, I got so tickled when our little friend Lily over the weekend, she told me that she was going on to college. Because she did, because that is the plan. Those kids will be finishing at I don't know,
West Georgia Technical. Yeah, so they're going to technical college.
Yeah, so she's going to college. That's what she told me.
Yeah. So that'll be something different. They can always say that they went to technical college and elementary school.
They did.
So you can see we're back on LaGrange Street, and they're still back in trucks, and the pollen's hitting me.
I know, the pollen. So we're at the tail end of the pollen season here too. So it's just everything.
Yeah, but you can tell a lot of these. Really, I think the storm came up Smoky Road to LaGrange, and a lot of these homes were hit really hard. We've got friends that they have been displaced